Some people go home for the holidays, others return home after the holidays. The UConn Huskies are back at home after a triumphant visit to Hawaii. Their home opener with Army is next. For 30 years, the Hartford Civic Center has served as a second home for UConn. Tonight, the third-ranked Huskies play their first of 10 games in Hartford this season. They host the Black Knights of Army. And a very pleasant good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Picozzi along with Ron Perry. We hope your holiday season's off to a great start. And Ron, UConn certainly is.
They really are. What about the start? 4-0. They just won the Maui Classic, beat a couple of ranked teams in Arizona and Gonzaga. Jim Calhoun's got them going again.
In sophomore Rudy Gay and junior Josh Boone, UConn has 2 preseason All-Big East selections, but Ron, it was a couple of seniors who led the way to that championship in Maui.
No doubt about it. You got to love the senior leadership early in the year, and one of those seniors was Denham Brown, and he is playing great basketball for UConn right now. Just lit it up in the Maui Classic. He had 17 against Arizona and really made some clutch baskets, including that game winner to seal it in the finals against Gonzaga. And Hilton Armstrong also playing terrific basketball inside. Off to a strong start in his senior year in the middle, but he's got the touch and he's got the moves inside. Second in the team in rebounding. He'll be counted on heavily this year. And as you can see, he's really sizzling from the floor at 64%. And Denham Brown leading the team in scoring at better than 15 a game.
Army has split its first 4 games. The backcourt combo of Matt Bell and Jarrell Brown have accounted for more than half of the Cadets' points. But how will they do against the number 3 team in the country? Tonight's Big East game is brought to you by Hyundai, with quality that lets them offer America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. And by Oppenheimer Funds, the right way to invest. Welcome back to Hartford and the 10th meeting between Army and UConn. Bob Picozzi along with Ron Perry at the Civic Center. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. First for the visiting Black Knights, Corbin Bates is the second leading rebounder in the Patriot League. He equaled his season high with 9 of them in Saturday's loss to the Citadel. And for UConn, Rudy Gay is the preseason co-Big East Player of the Year. But Ron, already this season, Rudy has turned the ball over in uncharacteristic fashion 16 times.
Well, he'll get it going. He'll be the man this year. They'll look for him in clutch situations. He did have that 28-point performance against Arkansas in the Maui Classic.
And Gay will jump it up against Jimmy Sewell. Fran Connolly tosses the ball between him. He's working tonight with Bill Laubenstein and Bill McCarthy. And we're underway from Hartford. Huskies ranked number 3 in the country, 4-0. Have not played since beating Gonzaga in the finals of the Maui Invitational.
Army opens up man-to-man. They've got to box out. Beautiful move in there by Armstrong.
Armstrong took it right at Sewell. He has been much more aggressive at the offensive end thus far in his senior season.
Yeah, he's doing a nice job. Seems very comfortable in his role, knows the system. UConn opens man-to-man. They've got the quickness, they've got the size. Army really needs to execute in this game. They've been scoring in the 50s, and they've got to shoot a high percentage to stay in this one.
Gay got a hand on it, then Marshall Jackson knocked the ball off UConn. Jim Calhoun inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame on September 9th in Springfield, only 27 miles north of where we sit tonight. 707 career wins, tied with his buddy Jim Boeheim of Syracuse, 6th among active coaches. Shot clock inside 10. Bell to Jackson. Bell goes behind the Sewell screen, tries to get it up over Boone. That didn't work. Denham Brown knocked it away, and we'll get a shot clock violation.
Well, one of the big challenges is just getting those shots off against the quickness as you look at the Army. Head coach Jim Cruz in his 4th year. As you see the record and a number of successful seasons prior at Evansville, and a former player, of course, at Indiana.
Under Bob Knight, also coached under Bob Knight. Armstrong already has 2. So far, he's been option number 1 at the offensive end of the floor.
Well, the height advantage, big time for UConn. Hilton Armstrong much more confident with his offensive game this year. Had 14 against Arizona out in Maui, and rebounding walled very well. Tough man-to-man D here. Quickness by UConn.
And the toughest assignment for UConn, the key assignment. Denham Brown on Bell. Right side three by Jarrell Brown.
Well, Jarrell Brown and Matt Bell combined for half of the Army points. They need to shoot it well in this one tonight.
Gay may have forced that one. Rebound in traffic, knocked over the end line by Army. And a fresh 35 on the shot clock for the Huskies. UConn was number 2 in the country in the preseason poll. Then slipped behind Texas. The Longhorns won the Guardians Classic. The Huskies won the Maui Invitational. Craig Austrie became the 5th freshman in the last 6 years to start on opening night for UConn. And down low will get a hold on the Cadets and the first foul of the night. There's a look at Austrie, who was the Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Connecticut last year. The foul was on Jimmy Sewell. And a steal off the inbound. Here comes Marshall Jackson. One-on-one and Denham Brown. Rebound pulled down by Gay. And here comes UConn. 4-on-2 if they hurry. Austrie finds Armstrong.
Oh, what a great start for Armstrong. And Austrie has been playing very well early for UConn. This is his 5th start in a row. Really has done a nice job. Floor general for UConn, played well in Maui. That was a beautiful feed right there.
Team leading 10th assist of the season for Austrie. Right side jumper, Brown, no good. Rebound off of Boone's hands. And here comes Austrie. UConn will look to run at every opportunity. Armstrong already has 6. Lob pass down low to Boone. Shot was blocked by Sewell. He's the leading shot blocker in the Patriot League.
Number 3 all-time at Army, 6'11", their tallest player by far. This is a very young Army team. They've got 20 players on their roster and only 1 senior.
And 12 of those 20 are returning lettermen from a team that won only 3 games last year. Jumper by Bates, no good. Rebound pulled down by Gay. So Army thus far has missed 4 of its first 5.
Those are the high percentage shots they need to make, but UConn with a couple of early turnovers in this one.
Turnovers have been a big problem for UConn. Jim Calhoun told me yesterday our ball handling's atrocious. Runner in the lane, no good. Rebound Bates, and the ball knocked over the baseline by Rudy Gay. Wholesale substitution. Jeff Adrian, Rashad Anderson check in for the Huskies. Colin Harris, Steve Stoll, and DJ Jamibawan enter the game for Army. Bell to inbound baseline. 33 seconds left in the shot clock. Cadets now 1 of 7 from the floor. For the season, they are shooting 40.8% entering the game.
Cadets really need a half-court tempo in this one, a game that plays in the 50s. UConn really wants to get the pace going, get some steals, push it. And Army's got to be concerned about the quick athletes for UConn putting spurts together in this one.
Yeah, UConn wants it in the 50s. They want it 50 miles per hour. Down low, Harris is called for the travel. So Army has turned the ball over twice in the early going. UConn is 14th in the 16-team Big East in turnover margin. Of course, that number will straighten itself out. And part of it is certainly a product of the schedule that UConn has played early. But nevertheless, Jim Calhoun not happy with that number at all. Off the rebound, ripped away by Adrian, and as he goes up, he'll be fouled. Stoll was behind him. And it will be on Stoll, his first, and number 2 on Army. Hilton Armstrong enters the game averaging 8 points per game. He's got all 6 of UConn's points in the first 4:08. Three-point UConn lead. Ron, last year Hilton Armstrong averaged only 3.8 points per game through the first 4 games this season. He's doubled that total.
Well, he's just more comfortable out there. He's a senior. He's been through this program, and you can tell he's comfortable and confident. He's off to a good start. More offensive-minded. He's stronger, too. He's clearly hit the weight room in the offseason. The touch is there. The minutes are there. He's going to have a big season.
At the free throw line will go Jeff Adrian. Hilton Armstrong out of Peekskill High School in Peekskill, New York. Same high school as Clippers star Elton Brand attended. And I think, Ron, UConn fans are going to fall in love with this young man, Jeff Adrian, freshman out of Brookline, Massachusetts. He is someone with a great set of hands, and when he gets the ball underneath the offensive glass, He's going to keep putting it up until he either gets the ball through the net or gets to the foul line.
Well, he's big and strong, huh? 6'6", 225. Heard a lot about him out of Brookline, Mass. And he doesn't look like a freshman, does he? I mean, he's physically gifted and loves to go inside.
Scored 11 points in 12 minutes in the championship game win in Maui against Gonzaga. And here's full court pressure for the Huskies. Corey Sinning, number 21, is checked in for Army. Army has a 20-man roster. They dress 16. And Jim Cruz plays a lot of people.
2-2-1 pressure that time by UConn. Nice job by the Cadets to break it. But they're only getting one shot, and they're done at the offensive end.
Steve Stoll missed the shot. Denham Brown got the rebound, but is called for palming. Third turnover for the Huskies, and now one freshman point guard. Austria is being replaced by another, Rob Garrison.
And here's Denham Brown right there. It's almost like he walked with that ball more than a palm. He lost it, just kept dribbling. You can't just pass that ball to yourself. You need to keep pounding it.
He would have been better served just trying to direct it off a teammate, whether he was looking or not.
Yeah, even to fumble it and then catch it and come to a stop. But once he kept dribbling, that's a violation. Oh,
here's
nice
a step-in steal by Adrian. 3-on-2 if they hurry. But they don't. Gay looks up top to Boone, and here's Garrison, freshman from Niagara Falls, New York, who lost the battle for the point guard job in the preseason, a head-to-head battle with fellow freshman Craig Austria. Garrison averaging 9 minutes per game. Of course, they're holding the seat warm until Marcus Williams returns from a suspension, and he will be back in action on January 3rd in the Big East opener at Marquette.
Now that'll be a major boost, but good minutes for Austria and Garrison in the meantime to develop their games.
Garrison got it to Adrian, missed the shot, and here comes Bell coming off a 26-point effort in a 2-point overtime loss to the Citadel on Saturday. It's the most points scored by anyone, any Patriot League player thus far this year.
Pace of this game is really the way Army wants it right now. They're hanging tough, making a couple of shots, 1 point, and that's what they wanted to do, is get into it early.
Quickly the other way, Anderson with the miss. Stoll had that three. It was his first attempt from three-point range this year. And on the rebound, we're going to get the ball, we're going to foul or just knock that out of bounds off the Cadets. This is the 10th meeting, but only the 3rd meeting between these two institutions in 57 years. They met 2 years ago. That was the first time they met since 1980. Army has not beaten UConn since 1925, but that's largely a byproduct of the fact they haven't played UConn very much.
I'll say a bit of a drought, but they just haven't matched up much.
Huskies have won the last 5 meetings. So Brown will inbound, and he gives to Adrian. Brown tried to force it inside. Bell knocked it away. Now Brown gets to Boone, and he's hacked by Stoll. Looks like they're going to give him 2 shots at the line. Boone did a smart thing. He felt the contact. He threw the ball toward the rim, and that puts himself on the line.
Yeah, this was a close one, whether or not the foul occurred while Boone was still on the floor with it, but they're going to say, no, he was starting in the act of shooting. Good call. Had a chance to go. It's only the 3rd team foul committed by Army so far, and UConn hasn't committed any. And Army's going to need to take some action to the goal against the bigger UConn team to try to get themselves some free throws in this one.
Jim Cruz was a member of that 1976 Indiana team that ran the table, went 32-0, won the NCAA championship, and they are the last team to complete the regular season and the NCAA tournament undefeated. No one's done it since. UNLV went through the regular season undefeated in 1991 and lost to Duke in the Final Four in the semifinals.
That's a feat that gets tougher and tougher.
St. Joe's came close a couple years ago.
Yeah. Running the table with the competition across the board. Might have been a break right there for Army. I thought that ball might have just gone out of bounds. They're saying it might have been deflected.
Army's made both of its 3-point attempts. Not so good inside the arc. They've yet to hit one in 7 shots. Here's another 3, and draining it from the left side is Corbin Bates. For Bates, that's his first 3 of the year.
Good start for Army. They're right in the game, gaining some confidence, and a flat start for UConn. They're coming off the big Maui tournament win. They're expected to come out and jump out to a 20-2 lead in this game, and it's Army right now gaining some confidence from 3-point land. 3 different guys knocking them down, and that time it's really their forward, Corbin Bates, draining one from the left side.
Bates, Stoll, and Brown have each hit a three. They are 3 from 4 from three-point range. Meanwhile, UConn has missed its last 5 shots and 6 of its 9 in the game. So Army up 2. We're going to get a kick now. New rule in effect this year in college basketball. You no longer reset the shot clock at 35 on a kick. If the kick occurs with more than 15 seconds left in the clock remains as is. And right now it was at 30. If it's less than 15 when the kick occurs, you reset it at 15. And we're going to get another kick. And the shot clock will remain at 22.
Challenge in a lot of these games, and Jim Calhoun will insist upon it with his team, is to really gear up your intensity level and try to put a team away. And right now, UConn allowing Army to hang around in this one.
Off the inbound, Bates drives, throws up the left hand, didn't hit the iron, and Armstrong pulls down the rebound, his first of the night. Army has yet to hit from inside the arc. Anderson for 3. Long rebound. Who's going to get it? It will be Army. Sinning, and he'll wait for his teammates to regroup in the front court. Nice job by Austrie. Boy, he picked Jackson's pocket. 2-on-2 ahead to Anderson.
That's a great play by the freshman. Austrie, the steal, the strip, and then a beautiful textbook bounce pass. That's what UConn needs more of to try to get this game opened up in the early going.
5th turnover for the Cadets, who barely get the ball across the midcourt line. Bates, right side, Stoll. He leaves for Sinning. Head fake. This is a 2, and their first 2 of the night. To go with 3 threes.
Sinning averaging better than 4 a game. Started a lot of games last year. That's a big hoop right there. Nice hustle by the Cadets.
Another turnover for UConn. That's their 5th.
One thing about the Army basketball teams, you know they're going to be well conditioned. They're going to play with a lot of intensity, but you can tell height-wise and quickness-wise, it's all UConn in this game. They're going to have to get this game going by increasing their intensity on the defensive end.
Yeah, Jim Cruz told me yesterday, we don't mind running, we just don't want them to run. Easier said than done.
Absolutely.
Shot clock all the way down to 6, and Sinning's going to have to pick up the pace here. Left side sets up Jackson for a 3. Long rebound Anderson inside the 12-minute mark, and UConn is stuck on 9.
Army really getting some open looks at the offensive end.
Huskies have 1 more turnover than field goals. 5 turnovers, 4 baskets. Brown spins, head fake. Rebound tipped up Josh Boone. Rebound Corbin Bates.
Army's been rebounding pretty well coming into this game. Better than 7+ on the margin versus their opponents. And in this game so far, they're doing a pretty good job of blocking out and banging on the boards with the taller UConn club.
They lead the Patriot League in rebound margin. UConn, uncharacteristic of the Huskies in the rebound margin department, only 9th in the Big East in the early going. Now the shot clock's inside 10. This is the pace that Army wants to play at. They'd settle for this pace on every possession. Let's see if they can execute at the finish. That's not the shot they wanted. They don't want their 6'11" center shooting from there. So UConn has struggled early. The Huskies have won all 19 home openers under Jim Calhoun. They find themselves trailing by 2. Well, Army had made 27 3-pointers in their first 4 games, and so far tonight, Ron, 3 of their 4 baskets are from beyond the arc.
That's what's been opening up. They just have a real hard time penetrating against the taller, quicker UConn team, and they're draining them from downtown. Steve Stoll with that one, and they got this one from Corbin Bates. They're 6'4" forward, taking what the defense gives them. They need to make the shots because they're not getting a lot of second chances at the offensive end. Check that out. That's an interesting stat.
Yep. Corbin Bates has 1 of those 3 threes. Jim Cruz was telling me one of the issues in the first 4 games, he said, we lose opportunities. We just don't deliver the ball on time. We have to cut and move better without the ball. And if Army executed their half-court offense a little bit better so far tonight, Ron, they'd be up by a lot more than 2.
Yeah, they would be. They've been doing a good job on defense, though, fronting down low. They're in a 2-3 zone right now. They're trying to clog it up inside and not allow easy ones like that move to develop.
Armstrong will draw foul number 2 on Sewell and number 4 on the Black Knights.
This is what UConn should do. Just get it inside. Armstrong too quick and strong in there for the one-on-one matchup with Sewell. Army trying to play that zone to force UConn to take more shots from the perimeter. Nice job by the Huskies to be patient that time and go inside with the ball.
UConn second in the Big East in free throw shooting entering the game at 77.9%, but they've missed 3 of the first 4 tonight before Armstrong knocks that one down. Jim Calhoun said winning in Maui was nice, but it's our job. The kids need to understand they won the national championship of Maui. Nothing more. He says we're not even the champs of all of Hawaii. On Waikiki, they couldn't care less. But we're #1 in Maui, nothing more.
That puts it into perspective. In other words, we have a lot of work to do, but nevertheless, great way to start the season for the Huskies.
Right side, Brown reverses it to Jackson, one way up in the air. Flag down the pass. Here's Brown again. He hit the game-winning shot to beat VMI. Right side 3, his second of the night. Jarrell Brown with 2 threes tonight, 14 for the year, second most in the Patriot League, and Army has knocked down 4 of 6 from three-point range. Armstrong again beats Sewell and again draws the foul on a obviously overmatched Jimmy Sewell. His third and 5 on Army.
Now the height is a real problem for Army, so Jim Cruz will have to dig deep into the bench and get a team effort in there, just like a replica of that last move by Armstrong. Nice job by Army, though, to start this game making threes. They really haven't been a particularly good shooting team coming into this game either, shooting 30% from three-point land, but the confidence builds when all of a sudden you make a few shots and it gets contagious. So right now they're hanging tough in this ball game.
First appearance of the night for Ed Nelson of UConn, replacing Denham Brown. So that makes the Huskies turn into a bigger lineup. Sewell will depart with the 3 fouls. And he receives some words of wisdom from his coach, Jim Cruz, who not only played on a national championship team at Indiana, but he was an assistant coach under his college coach Bob Knight on the 1981 NCAA championship team. 10 points already for Armstrong. He's in double figures for the 2nd time this year and the 6th time in his career. He has 10 of UConn's 13. Cross-court lazy pass. Here comes Gay, 3-on-2 to Anderson, and he'll draw the foul from Bates. That will be his first and already 6 on Army.
Well, Army will have fouls to give in this game. They've got a deep bench, and they have yet to put UConn into a foul position. UConn with no fouls. That arguably was one right there, as Ed Nelson with more or less a takedown on that play, but the reach-in foul at the end by Corbin Bates on the break. And when UConn gets out and runs, as we said earlier, good things happen, and they want to create more of that off the defense.
So at the free throw line will go Anderson, who was a key cog off the bench in the win over Gonzaga last Wednesday. 14 points off the bench on 3 of 4 shooting from three-point range. Was honored before the game tonight because he scored his 1,000th point of his career on opening night against Pepperdine. UConn stopped to play a game in Malibu against Pepperdine to open the season on their way to Hawaii. Marcus Johnson, #1, checks in for the Huskies, freshman from Los Angeles. So we have seen all 4 of UConn's freshmen in the lineup here in the early going. Austrie, Garrison, Johnson, and Adrian.
Dangerous pass.
Bell caught up with it. Now he gives to Jackson, who will reset the offense, but the shot clock is down to 10. Down low to Jamibawan, outside to Brown. Brown again, he's got 2 threes. He's got a much taller Gay on him, and Gay picked his pocket. Ahead to Austrie. Stop and go on Jamibawan, leaves for Nelson. Looked like he might have got bumped. Nobody blocked out Gay.
Yeah, it's the first basket in this game for Rudy Gay, and the break, harder to box people out, and Rudy Gay is so athletic. He had amazing leaping ability. I like the way Austrie, though, just kind of kept his poise there, gave a nice pass to Nelson, but Gay, that's a little bit of a highlight reel with that kind of dunk. Army needs some penetration. It's got to make UConn commit a few fouls. They have not committed one yet because it's been mainly just perimeter shooting by the Cadets.
Bates defended by Armstrong, who will be called for the hold. And there's your first foul on the Huskies, and it took 11 minutes and 30 seconds to get it. We are at the Civic Center in downtown Hartford, Connecticut. Glad you've joined us for Big East basketball on this Tuesday night. I'm Bob Picozzi, along with Ron Perry, third-ranked UConn, with a sluggish early start. Army has hit 4 of 6 from three-point range and led for a good portion of this half. UConn has regained the lead at 2. The Huskies shooting just 33% from the floor. Following the first foul on the Huskies, Army ball. Marshall Jackson, a junior from Washington, D.C. Austrie fell down. Left side, Colin Harris now back up top to Brown. Already has a couple of threes.
Wow.
He now has 3 of them.
Oh, he's got the hot hand in this one. Jarrell Brown, we talked about the 21 that he dropped on the table earlier this year against VMI. He can do it.
Nelson with the jump hook miss. Rebound Armstrong. He tried to feed Nelson. There was no room to complete that pass. Here come the Cadets. Turnover number 6 for UConn. Ball goes over the sideline. They'll come back to UConn. Well, what has UConn already accomplished in the first 4 games this season that they hadn't accomplished in a half century? We'll let you know when we go back. Army with a surprising 1-point lead of UConn, who hasn't played since last Wednesday. Championship game, EA Sports Maui Invitational. Jeff Adrian made his presence felt, 11 points in 12 minutes. Tough night for Rudy Gay. He scored 10 in 21 foul plague minutes. Rashad Anderson came off the bench to hit 14. With it tied at 63, 1.1 seconds left, and Denham Brown wins it with that little jump hook, and the Huskies beat Gonzaga to win the Maui Invitational. Let's take a look at our Hyundai cool facts. And with that win in Maui, it was the first time UConn has won any in-season tournament that they hadn't hosted since the 1956 Orange Bowl Classic. They had won several Connecticut Mutual Classics, Ron, in fact right here in this building, but they had never won an in-season tournament on the road since 1956, before last week.
It's an amazing stat and a great place to do it. Maui Classic, great location against tough competition.
Arkansas, number 8 Arizona, number 9 Gonzaga. Out of the timeout, Army with the ball up 1 inside the 8-minute mark. Sinning, left side, Jimmy Bawan for 3. And Army is 6 of 8 from three-point range. And Jim Calhoun is very upset. He immediately calls time. And he's going to go to his bench. You know, I was at UConn's practice yesterday, Ron, and I asked Jim if he was concerned about the jet lag. I mean, it's a long trip back from Hawaii, but he said no. We landed on Sunday. They gave us 2 days to get ready. That's plenty of time to get ready to play on Tuesday night. I'm more concerned about the fact that we haven't played since last Wednesday. But they look rusty.
They do, and Jarrell Brown knocks in his 4th 3. He just completely out-faked. I think it was Austrie behind the screen, wide open. Jim Calhoun basically said he's seen enough of this. The intensity level just hasn't been there. I think this is a game where UConn's had these big wins, and they come out against Army, supposed to jump out and be up 20-2 early, and the Cadets have shot it well, have been confident now, and right now they're feeling really good with 7:42 to go, that they are up by 4. But look for UConn to really pick up the pace and put some full court pressure on.
2-3 Army zone. Brown had 5 threes in the win over VMI. That's the most by any Patriot League player this year. He already has 4 the first 12.5 minutes tonight. Armstrong with the ill-advised pass inside. And then Brown will be called for the foul as he took out Marcus Johnson down low. That will be number 1 on Brown, and that's 7 on Army. So UConn will spend the rest of the half at the free throw line. And Marcus Johnson will step to the stripe for his first career free throw attempt.
Actually, Craig Austrie back in the game. I think that was Rob Garrison who missed a defensive assignment last time down the floor. I've seen Jim Calhoun call those timeouts within the first 10 seconds of games. And
well, he called a timeout, Ron, 19 seconds into the first exhibition game this year. It doesn't matter who you're playing or when. If he doesn't like what he's seeing, you're not going to wait till the next TV timeout to discuss it.
The message will come out loud and clear, and quite often early, as they did in that one.
UConn has missed 5 of 11 free throw attempts tonight. They trail by 4 as we hit the 7-minute mark. And this on a night when Matt Bell, Army's best player, hasn't scored.
Now, he's had really help, though, from Jarrell Brown, his backcourt mate. Army doing what they want to do right now, working clock.
Brown, catch and shoot. Now that was a 2. His first 2 of the night. He's got 14 points. 14 of Army's 22. He's nearly outscored UConn himself.
Thing about Jarrell Brown, he's athletic and quick, and he's matched up nicely against the quick UConn team in this first half. Nice move by the big freshman that time, Adrian.
That ends an 8-0 Army run. Full court pressure, and Johnson fouling Bell in the backcourt. His first and only number 2 on UConn. Rashad Anderson re-enters replacing Johnson. When UConn played that game out at Pepperdine, it was designed to be a homecoming game for Marcus Williams. Williams has been suspended for his role in a dormitory laptop computer theft incident and will not be able to rejoin the team until January 3rd. So Jim Calhoun said it turned out to be a homecoming for Marcus Johnson. We don't ordinarily do that for a player in his first game as a freshman.
Yeah,
but he's from Los Angeles, which is not at all far away from Malibu.
Well, it worked out well with the trip, too. I mean, you catch that game on the West Coast, head to Hawaii. Really working the clock, though. Army getting this shot clock down.
Yeah, they worked it all right. They got the 5-second call.
Got to penetrate by the defensive play. You just can't dribble laterally. But Army done a nice job keeping this to a low-scoring first half. And credit Jarrell Brown with that hot hand.
8 turnovers for the Black Knights. Anderson gets a step on Stoll. Missed the shot. Bell swatted the rebound. Nelson gets it. And then it's last touch by Army. Rudy Gay will re-enter for UConn. Gay is certainly not off to the sort of start that the coaching staff had anticipated that he would be in this, his sophomore year, along with Jerry McNamara. Syracuse selected the preseason Big East Player of the Year. Bound to Adrian. And here's Austri to reset the offense. Now Army's gone back to man-to-man.
Part of it with Gay, he's a sophomore, and it takes time to sort of just take that leadership role on, and there are some seniors can't make that entry pass from up top.
No. Turnover number 7 for UConn, many of them of the unforced variety. Right side Bell. Long rebound to Gay. Here comes UConn, trailing 4 as we approach the 5-minute mark. Huskies have won 22 straight home openers. Last time they lost a home opener was to Fairfield in December of 1982. Anderson slipped and fell. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if that's because of the humidity. It is very, very humid inside the Hartford Civic Center. There's Gay and McNamara, the 2 youngsters who got the nod from the 16 Big East coaches for the preseason Player of the Year honor.
Well, Jerry McNamara has been doing it now at the point for Jim Boeheim's club at Syracuse. A dynamite player, off to a very good start, and Rudy Gage is so talented. And again, I think it's just more and more experience. He's going to have a big year for the Huskies again this year.
Gay last year named the National Freshman of the Year by the Sporting News. And he'll draw foul number 3 on Steve Stoll. That's 8 on Army. And Gay will go to the line. Gay played with a Team USA team for the 2nd summer in a row. This past summer it was the USA Under-21 World Championship team. The summer before his freshman year, he was on the USA Junior National Select team. And those are wonderful opportunities for players to improve in the offseason, Ron.
No doubt about it. And you see guys, when they've done that in the summer, played against good competition, they come back and, you know, their game just gets better and better. All part of the process. Rudy Gay in this particular game and Denham Brown just really haven't been able to turn their games up at this point. Pace has been slow. This is a game where you have to be patient and just pick your spots. Got to get it off your defense.
Huskies 7 of 13 from the line. They trail 3 inside 5 minutes. Army with the lead despite having no points in the paint and not getting to the free throw line at all. And those two stats are not mutually exclusive of one another.
Well, you live and die with jump shots, but they've been able to make them, the 3 in particular, in this first half. Be patient with the ball, but it is a dangerous strategy when you're not getting anything in the trenches. Army
has 6 3-point field goals and only 2 2-pointers. Shot clock down to 3. Bates with the runner. Gay deflects the rebound to Austri. UConn getting almost nothing in transition tonight. Here's an offensive foul on Denham Brown, his first and 3 on UConn.
Now, a big difference with Army this year is they were allowing opponents 70+ points a game. This year, they've been holding people in the 50s and 30% shooting. So they've been playing good defense, and no doubt Denham Brown there just frustrated, trying to make something happen. He's crashing into the defense.
UConn now with 8 turnovers and 6 field goals. Entering the game, they had committed 16 more turnovers than their opponents. And when's the last time you've heard that about any UConn team? And this, keep in mind, coming off 4 wins.
They've just been flat in this first half. I mean, it did not come out with that kind of fire to put a team away, and Army's been able to make the long shots to make this first half, from their point of view, very interesting, as they're slowing it down and they're up by 3 and just working the clock. It's frustrating to play defense for 30 seconds each time down the floor.
Colin Harris dragged the pivot foot. He turns the ball over for the Cadets. That is their 9th turnover. Jim Cruz's club lost a heartbreaker on Saturday to the Citadel. They were up 10 with 4 minutes to go. They missed all 6 free throw attempts in the last 90 seconds. And as a result, the Citadel got the game into overtime and wound up winning it by 2.
How about Jarrell Brown on the bench? Gotta believe he's gonna get back in there. He's been the hot hand for Army.
25 left to shoot for the Huskies when we come back. Jarrell Brown has knocked down 4 threes and 1 2. He's got 14. Army up by 3. It's a 3-point Army lead. Last year as a freshman, Ron, Jarrell Brown had 14 3-point field goals. With his 4 in the first half tonight, he's already got 16, and this is 5th game of the year this season.
Well, he's clearly playing with a lot of confidence in the backcourt with Matt Bell, and in this particular game, he's been just amazing. He's quick, he's got a quick release, and I think he matches up with his quickness with UConn in this game more so than some of his teammates. He's been dynamite. What I'm wondering is, oh, there he comes. Why not have him in the game with that hot hand?
He will re-enter at the next whistle. UConn ball forecourt. Anderson catch and shoot off the Austri pad. Rashad Anderson now with 5 points, and UConn pulls within 1 with 3.5 remaining first half. Sinning coming off a season-high 10 against the Citadel Saturday. He is one of 6 players on this Army team from Ohio. Anderson steals it from Stoll. Lead pass too far for Gay. Catches up with it. Gives up the dribble. Now low block to Adrian. Power move. Tried to draw the foul. Boone tips it up once. Gets the rebound and the foul.
Now this is the real first sign of life by UConn in this first half. The basket by Anderson. The defensive steal. The hoop. Crowd's been really quiet, and suddenly some good action inside where they really should dominate this game with 2nd and 3rd chances. Josh Boone has got a big height advantage in there. Good effort though, finishing this one off, and a couple of hoops in a hurry here by the Huskies.
Foul on Doug Williams, his first. 9 on Army, and Boone completes the 3-point play. His first 3 points of the night. And UConn has regained the lead by 2 at the 3-minute mark. It's an 8-0 Huskies run. Bates foul line jumper. Here comes Austri. Quickly
shots.
Armstrong too high over his head. Huskies turned it over for the 9th time.
Army doing a pretty good job breaking pressure, finding the open man.
Well, Ron, your college coach George Blaney, of course, is an assistant on Jim Calhoun's staff, and he was telling me yesterday, George is the guy that does the scouting for UConn, that he thinks that Army does a very good job of reversing the ball to both sides of the floor on offense. And we've seen that tonight as a result in a lot of open looks.
Yeah, they have done a nice job with that skip pass. They've done a nice job breaking pressure. And they've been patient. You know, they've made the shots, but they've been patient. They have just not been able to get anything at all inside. They're just undersized.
Brown misses the shot. The rebound went off his foot. And we'll go back to UConn with the ball. 2-point lead, 2.5 minutes remaining first half. This the first of 7 straight home games for UConn. They open the season with the 1 game at Pepperdine and 3 in Hawaii. Then they'll play nothing but home games until the conference season begins January 3rd at Marquette.
Hardest part for UConn in a game like this is when you do get the ball, the other team's been very patient with it. You want to shoot quickly. Good patience that time and a good result.
Anderson got the screen from Armstrong and buries the three. So that's an 11-0 UConn run now. And a 3-point lead.
It's the spurt we talked about. UConn so explosive. We thought, hey, they're going to put some points together in bunches, and they're doing it off the defense. Oh, nice move.
Steal by Gay. Wants to go one-on-one on the much shorter Bell.
Oh, man, that was a move. Behind the back, one-on-one. Forget about it with Rudy Gay. A big run. Jim Cruz says, let's talk it over. There's that UConn spurt with the athleticism keyed off the defense.
So UConn opens up its biggest lead of the night with 1:30 to go in the half, and this one generated at the defensive end.
Well, great defense, long arms, Rudy Gay, very athletic, but check this move out. Behind the back, oh, then the flush. That's a major athletic move right there.
Well, Ron, coming up in our Nissan halftime report, we'll take a look at the Big East wire and conference realignment, not just in the Big East, but everywhere in the country. We'll have our Oppenheimer Big East coach a look at that and highlights and stats from the first 20 minutes from UConn and Army, all coming up on the Nissan halftime report. Rudy Gay, a McDonald's All-American his senior year at Archbishop Spalding High School in Baltimore. Other action in the Big East tonight, USF trailing by 4 at Florida International. Pittsburgh trying to go 4-0. St. John's trailing early to Hofstra, and Cincinnati will play Dayton at home. First year in the Big East for the Bearcats. They're off to a 3-0 start. With it is Bell, who's still looking to get on the board.
He just hasn't had any openings. The quickness too much. A lot of these non-league matchups early go wide open again.
It's Bates, left side three. 7 for 10 from three-point range are the Cadets. 8 points for Bates. Inside the final minute, Gay drives, nobody home, leaves for Anderson for three.
Now Rashad Anderson off the bench in double figures. He's been a big reason why UConn has been able to pull into the lead in this first half.
Anderson with both of UConn's three-pointers. And he's got 11. 30 seconds left, a 5-point Huskies lead.
Army would have been very pleased before the game if they thought they could win at halftime. You know, within 5 points of the UConn Huskies, working it. Another possession guaranteed, though, for UConn if they can get a stop here and then push it.
We're going to get a foul away from the play on the Cadets. I think it's on Colin Harris. That will be his first, 10 on the team. So the shot clock is off, and UConn has 15.8 seconds to make something happen. Up 5. Denham Brown will re-enter. Or will he? Now he comes in, he'll replace Ed Nelson. So it will be Brown, Anderson, Gay, Rob Garrison, and Boone will throw the inbound.
You got to think Anderson with that hot hand, go-to guy, Rudy Gay, and have Boone just crash in the backboards. A lot of good answers out there right now. Denham Brown as well.
Army in a zone. Anderson, deep three in front of the Army bench.
He's been the answer off the bench. Big one, momentum. Take it into the locker room.
So the Huskies, after a very, very slow beginning, catch fire and end the half with a 19-5 run. Rashad Anderson, 14 points off the bench. Hilton Armstrong with 10 points. And UConn finds itself leading Army by 8 in its home opener. They've won 53 of their last 56 home openers. They lead this one 35-27. Bob Picozzi and Ron Perry back at the Hartford Civic Center, all set for the start of the second half with UConn leading Army by 8. Jarrell Brown leading the Cadets with 14 points, 4 of 5 from three-point range. Rashad Anderson scored the 14 points that lead UConn, all coming off the bench. And I think, Ron, we're probably going to see UConn do a better job of locating number 32 in the black uniform each time Army gets the ball here in the second half.
Without a doubt, and we talked about the UConn seniors at the beginning, and Denham Brown been playing so well, just didn't get it going in the first half. Look for him to come up big in the second half, and Hilton Armstrong, along with Rashad Anderson, really led the way for the Huskies the first 20 minutes.
Jim Calhoun told me yesterday, when you play Army, you're playing a team that's always more disciplined than most. The players tend to get discouraged less easily. It's part of their makeup. It's part of the Academy's code.
Absolutely. It's called mental toughness. These guys live it and go through it every day. They're going to battle for the full 40 minutes when you play them.
Playing basketball these days, no doubt the easiest thing they do when you attend the service academies. Boone knocks the ball out of bounds. Of course, needless to say, it is a hectic and exciting week on the West Point campus. It always is the week of the Army-Navy football game, and Jim Crews says that the basketball players are all rooting big time for their football cadet student friends, and they're all fired up about Saturday's game in Philadelphia. And he says you have to be on the campus to really appreciate just what a enormous rivalry the Army-Navy thing is in all sports, but obviously in football more than any other. Denham Brown, the alley-oop to Gay, that misfires, and here comes Matt Bell, who not only didn't score in the first half, but he only got off 2 shots. UConn did a great job of defending the third leading scorer in the Patriot League. He's averaging 16 per game. Here's Bell, forced that one, and Brown comes away with his second rebound of the night.
Yeah, just not quick enough right now to get open, so Bell just forced that one up there.
I'm not sure that's the shot the Huskies wanted. Armstrong with the miss. Gay on the putback will draw the foul before the shot, so it will be a non-shooting situation.
Well, UConn really dominated the backboards in the first half, particularly the offensive glass. Army's got to try to put a body on the bigger, quicker UConn lineup, and for UConn, bang those boards, get second chances, try to put a good spurt together here to start this second half.
Second foul on Jarrell Brown, first on Army this half. Rashad Anderson started the second half, or actually he just replaced Denham Brown, who has really struggled tonight. Denham Brown only has 2 field goal attempts. High-low, Boone found Armstrong, who went in a little bit too deep, couldn't get the shot off, but he does draw a foul on Colin Harris. Number 2 on him and number 2 on the Cadets.
Again, if you're just joining us, the Cadets have a deep bench, so they will body up. They're undersized, and they just haven't given UConn the easy ones. They'll foul before they give it out.
Great look off street of Boone. In fact, he didn't look. He got it to him anyway.
Now, Boone, a real force inside. Austri, the freshman point guard's done a very nice job, and he got his 5th start of the year here tonight. A lot of poise.
4th assist of the night for Austri, 4th and 5th points for Boone. This is UConn's biggest lead of the night at 10. They trailed by as many as 6, and we're going to get an offensive foul call on Bell, who continues to struggle. His first, and 3 on Army in the second half.
Now, he's frustrated right there, but at every position right now, UConn taller and quicker. Good take right there, and position by Austri. And you can see UConn's defense is up several notches from where it was in the first half. Jim Calhoun's up. They have no doubt the halftime talk centered around defensive intensity.
UConn only 10th in the 16-team Big East in scoring defense entering the night. Nice look, Gay to Boone, and Army was forced to foul him. Bell and Harris were both there, and Bill Lobenstein is going to call it on Harris. That will be his 3rd, and Army already with 4 team fouls in the first 1:59 of the second half. Josh Boone, 5th leading shot blocker in UConn history, Ron, but only 2 blocks in the first 146 minutes of this season. That's hard to imagine.
It really is. I mean, he's such a force inside, good position. That number will pick up as the year goes along. A very surprising stat for Boone. Oh, really taking charge inside now. Anderson with the putback as UConn continues to dominate the boards. And here's that full court pressure we anticipated for the second half.
Season high 16 points for Anderson. He's got 30 in his last 2 games, had 14 against Gonzaga. And the championship game in Maui. 13-point UConn lead.
It's a real drought right now for Army. They haven't been able to get to the foul line, get to the goal. Taller, quicker UConn lineup. Got to try to just move it and find those open shots. They're just not there right now.
Anderson defending Jarrell Brown. Shot clock down to 5. Jackson to Bell, and Gay went right through a screen and is whistled for the foul as Corbin Bates went flying. First foul on Gay. It's only the 4th team foul on the Huskies in the game. First of the second half. And Army has yet to go to the free throw line tonight. Played 32 minutes, 32 and a half minutes, and haven't gone on the line yet.
Yeah, they've attempted a few drives, but it's been mainly outside shots. They've got to try it, get themselves in there.
Jarrell Brown this time defended by Gay at 6'9".
Tough matchups all the way around.
6'9" with long arms too. Sinning guarded by Austria. Here's Jarrell Brown. Low block. Bates wants to go in on Armstrong. He's a real shot blocker. Didn't block the shot, but he certainly altered it. Armstrong rebound. Here's Anderson in the open floor pull-up jumper. And an over-the-back rebound foul will be called on Gay, I believe. Or are they going to go the other way?
Should be on Gay, who's on the back.
Yeah, they are going to get Gay. Nope, they went the other way, Ron. They said the shorter Army player who boxed him out
committed
foul on Lance Dietz at 5'10", who's a lot shorter than 6'9" Gay. So that's 5 team fouls, and here's the 6th.
Usually you box out, you get the position. The foul's called on that guy that climbs over. That's a tough break right there for Army.
2 fouls on Bell, so 1 more foul, and UConn will spend the rest of the game from the free throw line. Off the inbound, Austria finds Gay. And just like that, UConn up 15. 7 points for Gay. Bates with the quick release. Here's Gay with a rebound. And here's a 5-on-3 if they hurry. Boone leaves for Austria. Foot on the line. It's a 2. Boone with the putback, and Jim Cruz has seen enough.
Big start for UConn to start this second one. A lot of intensity. A 9-0 run to start this thing.
So Josh Boone with 8 points. Rashad Anderson with 16. Huskies operating on all cylinders in the first 3:30 the second half. UConn trailed by 6 midway through the first half and has now opened up a 17-point lead. Josh Boone has been a big part of the equation, especially here in the second half.
Well, he's come alive. He's moving better without the ball. That was a great feed inside. And this time he just picks up that air ball from the wing. So Boone moving well now, and that's what it was all about. Jim Calhoun said, hey guys, you know, we were flat in the first half. You've got to pick up the pace, do it on the defensive end, and they are clamping down right now. Tough for Army to start the second half to even find any quality shots.
UConn has really extended the man-to-man. A bumping foul will be called on Austria. That will be his first 2 on UConn in the second half, and Austria is replaced by Rob Garrison. Austria from Trinity Catholic High School. That's the same high school that sent Rashamel Jones to UConn. Rashamel was a guard on UConn's first national championship team in 1999. Left side Bates puts on the brakes and then drags the pivot foot. Army's now turned it over 14 times.
Now Bates at 6'4", making an attempt to get the ball to the goal, but then you get in there and all of a sudden you've got Boone at 6'10" and Hilton Armstrong, same height, just closing off the inside.
Boone, tough catch in traffic, missed the shot, missed the putback. Armstrong rebound, gives to Denham Brown. Brown tips it up once, still alive. UConn had 4 offensive rebounds, but came away empty.
Wow, just dominating the backboards. Just unable to finish that time. The height clearly in evidence on that one.
UConn only +3 in the rebound margin department per game entering the night, and they led the country in rebound margin a year ago. Here a foul's going to be called on Sinning. Ball was deflected into the backcourt. And Gay will go to the line to shoot the 1-and-1. UConn trying to jump out to a 5-0 start in 2005. Army has yet to score here in the second half. UConn has scored 9. Army 0 for 4 from the floor since intermission, and Rudy Gay will go to the free throw line. UConn, one of 5 nationally ranked teams in action tonight. Very early, number 2 Texas trailing. Kentucky with a 5-point lead at home over High Point. Alabama, Louisiana Tech just getting started. And in the Big Ten ACC Challenge, Wake Forest with a 9-point lead over Wisconsin. Gay knocks down the first one, his 8th point of the night, to go along with 7 rebounds. Gay last year the Big East Rookie of the Year. Rebound to Jarrell Brown. Matt Bell still looking for his first points of the night. He averages 16 per game.
Now
Defended by Garrett.
Hasn't had many clear openings. Rudy Gay and Josh Boone really picking it up in this second half for the Huskies.
Bates outside the Stoll, picked up 3 early fouls in the first half. Jameebawan. Shot clock at 10. Bell with the catch, or Brown with the catch and shoot over Denham Brown.
Well, he's been the only real offensive answer for Army. Keep him on the floor, keep shooting the J.
16 points for Brown, Jarrell Brown, the sophomore from Cleveland. There he is, out of St. Peter's Chanel High School. Hit the game-winning field goal with 1.9 seconds left to beat VMI. A road win which ended a 15-game road losing streak for Army. Off the inbound, Anderson no good. Rebound, Bates.
Army's done a nice job, undersized, boxing out, fundamentally sound. They get themselves in front of UConn. UConn have been able to jump over them on many occasions, though.
Huskies out rebounding Army 30-12, and Bates hits the left side jumper.
Yeah, Bates has been solid too, both rebounding and shooting the basketball when he's old. He plays bigger than 6'4".
He has 10. It's his second double-figure scoring game of the year. The Huskies turn it over again.
That's Bates on the defensive end. Nice job with the pick. His Army just keeps working it.
Bell, 11th turnover for UConn. Basket by Brown last time down for Army ended a 10-0 Huskies run. And what do we have here? We're going to have our first free throw attempts of the night for the Cadets.
That's right. Matt Bell.
So Bell will go to the line where he is very efficient, 75%, 10th best in the Patriot League. 6-foot junior from Kokomo, Indiana. His coach Jim Cruz says that Bell's not strong, not quick. He's just a gym rat, never takes a game off, and his work ethic rubs off on everybody else in the team.
He hasn't really. I mean, he forced maybe one shot here tonight. It's been tough for him. Plays hard. Plays a lot of minutes, 30-plus minutes a game for the Cadets. He's had, this is his 59th game, and he started every one so far at West Point.
He goes 1 of 2 from the line. First point of the night. He does have 4 assists. 13-point UConn lead inside the 14-minute mark. Huskies will play their Gamble Pavilion opener Friday night against Texas Southern from the SWAC, the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Gay on the right, switched hands, and we'll get a blocking foul on Army.
Army stays man-to-man, and once you move the basketball, some of these individual matchups just not there. Jarrell Brown slips, and Jameebawan tries to help out. Well, check it out. Rudy Gay is too quick. He's long, he's quick. He was going up for the big dunk. Jameebawan said, we'll make you earn that one from the charity stripe.
First foul on Jameebawan, already 8 on Army. And Gay right back at the line where he's 2 of 4 so far tonight. Knocks down the first one. Gay opened the season by equaling his career high with 10 rebounds against Pepperdine. Then in the second game of the year, he had a career high 28 points against Arkansas. Since Army had that 6-point lead late first half, UConn has outscored the Cadets now 31-10.
Now, we were talking about the spurt. Didn't happen early. Army, they caught UConn really, flat early in the ball game. 5-second call. The defensive intensity up now. UConn getting those points in a hurry. And Jim Calhoun's team's always key their offense off of their defense, and it's happening in a big way right now in this one.
16th turnover for Army. UConn inbounds. They tried the alley-oop, but Jarrell Brown did a good job of getting the body in front of Gay. UConn controls, and Austri will reset the offense.
Well, it's man-to-man, but it's really a sagging man-to-man. The undersized Army cadets trying to just clog the middle as much as they can.
Nelson off the pick and roll is hammered by Jimmy Bawan. He set the screen, then rolled to the hoop, and Austri did a nice job of getting him the ball in a sweet spot.
Big Ed Nelson, you're going to have to do this to him. He's strong. It's a nice job right there. The position with Nelson. Once you get there, you get the ball down low with your big people. You're either going to score or get yourself to the foul line.
First free throw attempt of the night for the transfer from Georgia Tech. 4 years ago as a freshman for the Yellow Jackets. He was the Atlantic Coast Conference Rookie of the Year. His second and final year at UConn.
I think it helps to have these seniors. We've talked about Denham Brown and Hilton Armstrong, but Nelson, another one, role player. These guys are going to want to provide leadership and really help this UConn team when they get to tournament time to get the job done.
It's the first of 3 straight road games for Army. They'll be back on the road Friday at Columbia. They'll be back in Connecticut next Monday to play Sacred Heart in Fairfield. There's a block shot by Gay, tried to save it. Still loose, and coming away is Colin Harris. Shot clock all the way down to 5, though. Jim Cruz trying to bring that to Jackson's attention. Ball fake, shoots over Austri. Rebound in the lane. Adrian ripped it out of his teammate Anderson's hands.
And you can see the difficulty right now for Army just to get shots off.
Nelson will be called for the foul, creating space down low as he awaited the entry pass. Boy, Gay can get up in the air, can he?
Well, he really can. I mean, I'm sure Jarrell Brown says, hey, I got room. I'm going to let this thing go. And Rudy Gay, 6'9", the long arms, not only blocks it, but keeps it in play.
He closed ground like one of those dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. Inbound comes to Jimmy Bawan. Huskies with some token full court pressure, up 16. 12.5 minutes remaining in their home opener. First of 10 home games here at the Hartford Civic Center, where if they win tonight's game, they will be exactly 100 games over 500 in their 30-year history in this building. Right now, they're 169-70. And we are in downtown Hartford. 12:18 to go in the ball game. UConn, the number 3 team in the country, trailed Army by 6 late first half. Finished the first half with a 19-5 run. Has really killed the Cadets off the boards tonight and has opened up a 16-point lead.
Well, it was really a matter of time because Army was just living and dying with that 3 in the first half. They made 7 out of 10, but Connecticut was really dominating the boards and not allowing Army to get anything at all inside. That's one of the closest shots they made all night.
Jarrell Brown
just
with
outside
the
the paint.
So he has demonstrated that he can do more than drain the threes. He's got 18 points. Here comes Army. Stoll to Jackson, up top Jarrell Brown for the wide open 3. Rebound, Josh Boone is 6th. UConn has outscored Army 24-love in the paint tonight. Denham Brown drives, leads for Austri. Long rebound. Denham Brown tries to control. Goes into the hands of assistant coach Andre LaFleur. It will be UConn ball when we come back. Huskies up 14. UConn nationally ranked for the 41st consecutive week, ranked number 3, leading Army by 14. One thing you can be sure of when you play Army, Ron, and that is the Cadets will give you 40 minutes of effort.
They really do. I mean, they're undersized in this thing, and UConn trying to just put them away in this second half. No call, it's physical. Guys are getting after it. Check out the action on the weak side. Just lay it out on the line. Jim Cruz like that one. That was Steve Stoll with the all-out hustle.
Rudy Gay with the spin move in traffic. He's got 12 in double figures for the 4th time this year, 26th time in his career. 16-point lead, and here come the Huskies right back at it. Inside Adrian, as he goes, he'll draw the foul. Bates and Sewell were both there, and Fran Connolly is going to call the foul on Corbin Bates, his second. That's 10 on Army, so everything will be 2 shots the rest of the way for the Huskies, who have controlled the action in the lane all night long.
Well, Army's made some three-point shots. We talked about it in the first half, but Jim Crews knew coming in that this was a big, physical, quick UConn front lines. They've dominated, have the Huskies inside. Army trying to collapse and sag down there. They're battling in this game, but UConn starting to wear them down here in this second half. And Jeff Adrian, an exciting-looking young player, a freshman out of Brookline, Mass for UConn. Came up with a couple of big games out in Maui. He had 11 against Arkansas and also matched that total off the bench against Gonzaga.
Did it in 12 minutes against Gonzaga.
It's efficient, isn't it?
So he's had already 2 double-figure scoring games in his first 4 games in a UConn uniform. Spent last year at Brewster Academy in New Hampshire. 2 years ago as a senior at Brookline High, he averaged 27 points and 14 rebounds. Anderson replaces Gay, who sits down with 12.7 rebounds.
Gay and Boone really picked the pace up in this second half. Denham Brown trying to do the same thing right now, showing some energy on the defensive end.
Gay also with 3 steals. Entering the action, Gay was tied with his teammate Denham Brown for the team lead in steals. He now has 8 this year. Bates tries to go around the much taller Armstrong. Bell tries to get a step on Anderson, who closed ground, blocked the shot, but evidently got him with the body. That will be number 1 on Anderson and number 5 on UConn. And Army will go to the line now for the 3rd and 4th time. And it will be Bell who's attempted all of the free throws for Jim Crews' team tonight. Made 1 of 2 first time there.
He led the team in scoring 3 of the first 4 games, but he has just found no space whatsoever in this game. He's been just swamped in this one defensively.
Talked to Jim Crews about scheduling a powerhouse like UConn. He says, look, you have to learn from playing games like this. It's a tremendous challenge. Challenges are a good thing. That's what the service academies are all about, isn't it? Away from the play, we'll get a push, and this will be the 4th foul on Corbin Bates. Again, everything will be 2 shots the rest of the way. The Huskies have already gone to the line 24 times, and you can imagine how many more free throw attempts they'll get in the last 10.5 minutes. Army in the double bonus. We could be here a while.
To tell you from Jim Crews' point of view, you know, these guys, his ball players will, you know, they won't see anyone quicker, bigger. They'll compete in the Patriot League. They're definitely showing signs of improvement this year. They struggled last year. They snapped the 15-game losing streak on the road by beating VMI this year. So they're showing some positive signs early in this campaign, and just lost a tough 2-pointer coming into this game to the Citadel.
Patriot League is comprised of American University, Army, Bucknell, Colgate, your alma mater, Holy Cross, Lafayette, Lehigh, and of course Navy. Army last year went 1-13 in the Patriot League, finished last, and then lost to Holy Cross in the quarterfinals of the conference tournament.
Yeah, Bucknell, the team right now that's really hot in the league.
Beat Syracuse to Carrier Dome last week. Remember last year they had that tremendous win over Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and then they had that big first-round win in the NCAA tournament bottle to Kansas. Oh, man, that was a big one.
Anderson stole it from behind, but is whistled for his 2nd foul. And that will be number 6 on the Huskies. And he'll take a seat, placed by Marcus Johnson. Did he get all ball? Let's take a look.
Let's see if he flicks it from behind. I think he did. I mean, it looks like he flicked away from Bell on that one.
He got his wrist.
Tough. Any reach, huh?
So Bell has taken every Army free throw attempt. There are only 4 of them, and he'll get another one here. It's 17 fouls on UConn, so it's the 1-and-1, and Bell can't convert.
Officials will tell you they want you to swat away from the offensive player, not down. Most times, even if it looks, you know, like a foul, you're going to get called for it, even if you get a lot of level.
Garrison for 3. Rebound pulled down by Jimmy Sewell. Both of his grandfathers served in the Army. Rebound inside by Colin Harris. His first 2 points of the night.
One of the
first points in the paint for Army all night long.
The only
right there.
transition type of basket that I've seen Army go for here tonight, where they were able to push the pace and get an easy one.
Away from the play, Armstrong will be called for throwing the elbow as he set the screen. 2 on him, 8 on the Huskies. So it took Army 30 minutes and 30 seconds before they scored their first points in the paint. Tough to win that way.
Yeah, no doubt. Jim Calhoun's club just hasn't allowed anything inside. Bigger, quicker. And plus the fact Army's tried to work a half-court offense tonight and slow the pace down against a bigger, quicker team, which is very tough to do.
Harris draws the double team, tried to draw the foul and does.
Good up fake that time. Nice job by Harris. You get the defense up, trying to block it, and draw the foul.
First on Adrian, 9 on the team. Harris will go to the line. UConn has certainly had its way under Jim Calhoun in the months of November and December against unranked opponents. These are some of the numbers. 115-4 at home, 71-3 here at the Civic Center. In fact, the only game that they've lost here at the Civic Center in the months of November or December against an unranked opponent in the last 72 games was to St. Bonaventure back in 2001.
Those are some gaudy numbers when you check those out.
If UConn hangs on to win tonight, we certainly expect that they will. Jim Calhoun will have 708 wins. If he wins his next 2 games, Ron, he'll be exactly 400 games over 500 for his career.
I'll tell you what, that's impressive. A lot of W's. Inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame. Just the accolades are really racking up for Jim.
Denham Brown with the miss, Sewell with the rebound. And more than 60 of his former players, including 12 players from a team he coached at Dedham High School in Massachusetts 30 years ago, showed up for his enshrinement ceremony on September 9th. In fact, remember Duran Sheffer, the great guard, he made the trip from Israel to see his former coach get inducted.
That's what it's all about. A lot of great loyalty for the coach. Done a great job and really brought a lot of players along, both as young men and as players. They've really improved all the way around.
Jarrell Brown hits the jumper and Jim Calhoun wants time, so Brown has 20 points. Second time he's done that this year. And the UConn lead is 12. Huskies ranked number 3 in the country, and they are one of 4 Big East teams in the top 25. Villanova's 4th. Louisville is number 6. And Syracuse is number 24. And you see Gonzaga there at number 7. Arizona number 13. UConn already with a couple of wins over those teams. Michigan State number 14 was also in that Maui Invitational field. In fact, Ron, the 4 teams that made the semifinals in Maui at the time were among the top 12 teams in the country, playing in that semifinal doubleheader last Tuesday night.
Great grouping. This Syracuse at 24. And how about the Michigan State 109-106?
One of the great games you'll ever want to see.
Gonzaga. What a great game that was. Unbelievable.
Adam Morrison put in a performance for the ages. That was the Gonzaga missed his first free throw attempt in that game and then didn't miss another one. I think they made their last 27. Out of the UConn timeout, Huskies ball. Let's see what they drew up in the huddle. Austrie, Gay back in. Army playing man-to-man. Jarrell Brown trying to guard Gay down low. That's a height mismatch. Let's see if they can take advantage of it. Gay with the shot. He was fouled after releasing it. And since he was attempting a 3, he'll shoot 3.
No doubt about that one.
It's been a big night for Jarrell Brown. He's got 20, but not enough to offset the production of the 3rd-ranked team in the country. Never a good idea, Ron, to foul someone attempting a 3, is it?
It's never a good idea, and I think, Brown goes up. You're not going to block that one. Gay is 6'9", long arms, and his balance gets lost as he crashes into him. So 3 foul shots. But without Brown's efforts tonight, the Cadets wouldn't even be close in this ballgame. He's really been tremendous, scoring just about half of Army's points.
He has 3 fouls to go along with the 20 points. There are Gay's numbers tonight. Also 7 rebounds, 3 steals, and 1 block shot. Knocks down the first one. Gay averaging 14 points per game in the first 4. Coming off a 10-point night. Was in foul trouble in the Gonzaga game, was limited to 21 minutes. That was a great finish. UConn missed a couple of free throws down the stretch and opened the door for Gonzaga, who tied the game. And then the Huskies had one last possession. Got the ball up court quickly, and Denham Brown hit a little jump hook with 1.1 seconds left to win it by a pair.
Classic game. That was really an NCAA tournament atmosphere and intensity level with 2 very strong teams. They'll both go deep this year into the tournament field, I'm sure.
Here's Bell. Left side jumper. Brown again.
Here he is.
See, career high, 22 points now.
That's right. He had the 21 against Virginia Military.
Austria with the quick shot and the miss. He is yet to score tonight. It's only taken 2 shots, but does have 5 assists. UConn's biggest lead was 18. It's now 13.
Talked about tempo. Army's really done a pretty good job of keeping this game as balanced as they can in kind of a half-court set. A lot of that was because they got the good start in this one.
Bell, nice feed baseline. Sewell, nobody home except Gay to get the rebound. And now Jim Calhoun wants timeout.
Whoa.
Comes out and nearly took the ball out of Austria's hands himself. So timeout UConn, 6:57 to go. This first of 7 straight home games for the Huskies. They'll get Texas Southern at Gamble Pavilion on Friday night. Texas Southern won its opener, but then lost all 4 games in the San Padre Island tournament. Then the U game, UConn and UMass here at the Civic Center. Remember, UMass upset UConn a year ago, and then the Huskies will host New Hampshire. New Hampshire, Bill Harrion, former coach of Drexel in East Carolina, back in the America East in his first year as the coach of the New Hampshire Wildcats.
Good to have Bill back in New England with the America East Conference. Formerly with Drexel, and
led Drexel to a couple of America East championships before getting the job at East Carolina. And then you saw on the screen one of those opponents is Stony Brook, and Stony Brook's first-year coach is Steve Peichel, who played for Jim Calhoun and coached under him. So it will be another one of those coach-mentor matchups. We've seen several of them over the years. He's coached against Howie Dickinman. UConn played Central Connecticut. Against Dave Lato when Dave coached at Northeastern. Against Glenn Miller when Glenn coached Brown. He's still coaching at Brown. And the Huskies turn it over again.
Well, that happens with great programs. You end up having people go through your system that go on to become strong head coaches in their own right. The matchups with the mentor. This is a real building block time of the year. I mean, Jim Calhoun's done this for years, and every step of the way is a learning experience and a building process for his team. Younger players, meshing them together. But clearly, this is a team, Army, that I think they expected to just put away in this game. And Army, to their credit, has been able to make a game out of this.
Hanging around, down 13, 6.5 minutes to go. Sinning. Cross court. Colin Harris. Bell still looking for his first field goal, and there it is. The lead is 10.
Hanging around in this game and just continuing to work and grind, really collapsing in the defensive end.
11-3 Army run, and they take it away. Sinning and Bell combined to steal it from Boone.
Good hustle inside by Army.
Turnover number 18 for UConn. Sewell's shot looked like it might have, Gay got a piece of it. Gay got a piece of Sewell.
Yeah, got the block and then got whacked in the head.
Inside the 6-minute mark. Denham Brown up top to Boone. Gay defended by the much shorter Jarrell Brown. Now Denham Brown. Boone sets the high screen. Austria, shot clock down to 7. Denham Brown will try to take Sinning off the dribble. Now sets up Austria for his first field goal of the night. He had 15 points, Ron, against Arizona.
Now he's glad he made that one. It was not a Good time for him in that last time out there over with the UConn huddle, but kept his poise, made the shot. Nice steal.
Can Sinning catch him? Now Jim Cruz will take a timeout. So that lead was trimmed to 10, and now it's right back up to 14 following back-to-back baskets by Craig Austrie, one of them that he created for himself with the steal.
And then the coach, you know, the thing about Jim Calhoun is that then got him there saying, that's what I'm talking about. The shot, the poise, the defense. You can't make these flat passes across the court. You need to have penetration with the ball, more of a diagonal pass going toward the basket. Too much quickness there, anticipation. And, you know, so much of what UConn is capable, defense turning into good offense.
Elsewhere in the Big East, USF with a 2-point lead at Florida International. Pittsburgh at home. St. Francis, New York hanging around against the Panthers. St. John's leads Hofstra by 13. Cincinnati trailing Dayton by 9 in the first half.
St. John's has bounced back, and now I think Hofstra had that 8-0
lead to start the game. Army has committed 18 turnovers, and UConn has scored 29 points. 29 of those 60 points off the turnovers. Virtually half their point total.
Yeah, I mean, UConn has struggled in their half-court set against Army's sagging defense.
Bell hit a three last time he fired, not this time. Rebound Austrie. Armstrong wants to go down low to Boone, but didn't deliver the ball right on target, and it went off Boone's hands.
As a matter of fact, in this game, UConn 39% shooting, so they've gotten a lot off the transition, but not much really from a perimeter game in the half-court set.
16th turnover for the Huskies. Bell defended by 6'9" Gay, was called for the hand check, his second. And that should be 10 on UConn, so Army will shoot 2. Bell has struggled from the line tonight, just 2 of 5.
That's a hand check right here. Right with the left arm, the check holds up Bell's momentum. Been that kind of night though for Bell. He's had to go up against Rudy Gay for quite a bit of time, who 6'9". It's really been a struggling shooting night though for Bell, who's come in with that hot hand coming off that 26-point game against the Citadel.
Bell, a 75% free throw shooter, and he's missed 4 of his 6 attempts tonight. His 6th point of the evening. Second team All-Patriot League choice last year as a sophomore. Lead is 13 as we approach the 4-minute mark.
The Austrie's got to take it at Bell. I mean, Bell's way off him. Take the ball to him and run your offense from the foul line if they give it to you. Take it right in there.
Looking inside for Armstrong. Sewell doing a good job of denying. Now the shot clock's at 10. Gay comes off the screen. Instead, they go the other way to Armstrong. Jumper from the elbow. Didn't even hit the rim.
Now that's the zone right there, and UConn just stood on that offensive set. No movement or penetration.
Sinning. Defended by Austrie. Sinning holds the record for the most points in a career, most points in a game in his high school. And Wirt High School in Ohio. Bell missing the runner. Rebound Rudy Gay, his 10th. So Rudy Gay has his second double-double of the season and the 3rd of his career. It's a 13-point UConn lead. Craig Austrie had back-to-back baskets. Tonight's game has been brought to you by Nissan and your Nissan dealer. And by Cooper Tires, proud to be the official tire of the Big East Conference. Cooper Tires, don't give up a thing. Nighttime look at the Capitol here in downtown Hartford, only a couple of blocks away from the Hartford Civic Center. UConn with a 13-point lead, 3.5 minutes remaining. They trailed by 6 late first half, led by as many as 18. Bell had trouble inbounding, so he calls the timeout to avoid the 5-second call. Let's take a look at our defensive player of the game, brought to you by Cooper Tires. Don't give up a thing. Rudy Gay, a couple of blocks and 4 steals, Ron.
Well, really picked it up in this game, particularly in the second half. The long arms, quickness, reads the defense so well, anticipates, and by the way, you can finish a little bit too. I love that block there and kept it in play. The steals, the blocks. Rudy Gay's really been a presence defensively.
Rudy Gay had 5 blocks on opening night against Pepperdine. That's the second highest total by a Big East player this year. And UConn is a team that will block a lot of shots. They had 11 blocks against Pepperdine on opening night. That's Big East season high this year. They are second in the conference in block shots, and the last several years they've led the country in block shots with, of course, Emeka Okafor, the all-time shot blocker here at UConn, and he accomplished that in 3 seasons. And Josh Boone has picked up where Okafor left off. Armstrong is third in the league in block shots. Gay blocked the pass that time and can't convert off the one-timer from Austria, but he'll get himself to the line following his 5th steal of the night.
Now, we just talked about him. Here's Gay again, that lob pass. You think you've got an opening. He closes it so quickly. Well, that was alley-oop time right there. Sinning just kind of sagged back into him. That was going to be highlight reel material.
So Gay will go back to the line where he is 7 of 9. Ron, do you think it will be much of an adjustment for UConn when they get Marcus Williams back from the suspension? I mean, obviously, here's a guy who was 3rd in the country in assists last year. You're gonna have to make room for him in your lineup.
Right. I don't think so. I mean, I think he's a kid that, you know, he handles the ball so well up top. I think they're going to just get better. I think he's used to these guys. It's going to take him a few games to get himself back into the rhythm, but get him in practice, get him handling the ball, and then, you know, Jim Calhoun will then have the opportunity to, you know, spot Austria and, you know, Garrison Moore with minutes at point. But I think he's just going to make them better.
Left side 3 is good by Colin Harris. His first 3 of the night and his second 3 of the season. So the lead is 12 inside 3 minutes.
You can't overstate the importance of the, you know, the point guard, the quarterback in basketball. I mean, the guy really runs the floor, runs the team, and makes good decisions. Nice look right there, by the way, by the freshman Austria. Done a nice job on that one.
His 6th assist of the night. Boone now with 10 points, so he's in double figures for the 3rd time this year and the 28th time in his career. Austria leads UConn in a